Today, we are talking about Tesla's Q1 earnings results and what that means for 2021. We've got more foolish people trying to bring Tesla down with stupid claims, Tesla upping their recycling game, and bringing new safety features to future vehicles. Let's get going. Hey, Elonites and Musketeers, welcome to the Tesla space where we share the latest news, rumors, and insights into all things Tesla, SpaceX, and Elon Musk. Tesla's Q1 earnings call for 2021 happened on Monday, April 26th, and we got some good news. Some slightly concerning news, and mostly we just didn't get very much news at all. If anyone was looking for a bombshell report, this was definitely not that, and clearly a bunch of Tesla stockholders were expecting something a bit more exciting because we saw a stock sell-off that began when the report was released and continued throughout the earnings call on Monday afternoon. I'm not going to do a full breakdown of everything that was talked about on the earnings call. Plenty of folks have already done just that, but I'll hit a few key points to summarize for you. The good news, Tesla made money, lots of it. Their margin percentage is strong at 22% before credits are applied. They say that demand for vehicles is higher than ever before, and I definitely believe that. The Model 3 has now become the best-selling premium sedan in the world, so it is now outselling all gasoline cars in the same category, which is crazy. Demand for the Model Y is going to the moon, according to Elon. He thinks that the Model Y might become the best-selling car in the world as soon as next year, and if not, then definitely by 2023. That title is currently held by the Toyota Camry at around 1.5 million units sold per year, and that makes perfect sense. I've said before that the Model Y long range is the best all-around car ever made by anyone. Nothing else ticks as many boxes in terms of practicality, performance, tech, and price. There was a lot of talk about the Model S and Model X, and we got some ups and downs with these cars. Good news, the new Model S is delivering soon, which is the same thing that Elon said back in February, but that was on Twitter and this was on a business call, so hopefully he's right this time. Bad news, they're still very much behind schedule with these cars. We'll see some deliveries in Q2, but nothing significant. Model S production will probably ramp in Q3 and Model X will ramp in Q4. Elon says that it's taking a long time to make sure that the new battery pack design for these refreshed cars is safe. Good news, Elon is saying that the new Model S and X cost the same or maybe even a bit less to build than the previous version, which is great for Tesla because they are charging more for the 2021 refresh version than before. So that means a very high margin on these cars. Lastly, Elon says Tesla could ramp up to a production volume of 2,500 Model S and X per week by the end of the year. That's a big step up in volume for these cars. Tesla Solar is another point I want to mention because I feel like I understand this situation a bit better now. First off, the demand still far exceeds their ability to supply the solar roof systems. So that's a good indicator, but it does mean a lot of money is being left on the table. Then the way Elon explained the price increase does make sense to me. He's basically saying that they won't install a Tesla roof that is guaranteed for 20 years on top of a structure that doesn't meet their standards. So most of the time, there is extra work needed to bring the whole roof up to the level where Tesla is cool with putting their product on it. It still doesn't seem like something that would apply in every case, but I can at least imagine a lot of situations where people just honestly don't know what state their roof is in. And then the installers find rot or instability or whatever else and adds to the cost. It's also been reported that Tesla are now offering free Powerwall batteries to people who have experienced unexpected price increases on previously agreed to contracts, which is finally a nice gesture. Lastly, with Powerwall now mandatory and exclusive to solar roof purchases, this makes sense as well. Both of the products work at their best when they work together, and it makes installation of the roof much easier when it's done with the Powerwall. On top of that, Tesla is saying they can actually increase the power of the Powerwall by 50% through a software update. It makes sense, and since demand is going to remain much higher than supply, Tesla is in the business situation where they can say either buy the whole package or we'll move on to someone who will. Good news for Tesla Semi, it looks like production is on track for this year to get a few semis on the road and delivered to customers. Now, some concerning news, Elon was talking about Tesla's production of the 4680 battery cell, and that seems to be lagging behind where we hoped that it would be. He was saying it's going to take between 12 and 18 months for Tesla to hit volume production of their 4680 battery cell, which is a long time. I think most of us were expecting that to happen closer to the end of this year. But on a positive note, though, he says that the Tesla battery suppliers, mostly Panasonic and LG Chem, will be producing 4680 battery cells for them in the short term. So the batteries will be available, but it'll take a year at least to have a significant amount of them. And lastly, there was no optimistic news about the Cybertruck at any point. So given all the other setbacks that we're seeing, and most of this Elon is chalking up to the global supply chain issues, which makes sense. That's not Tesla's fault. It's just the state of the world right now. It does look like no meaningful production of the Cybertruck in 2021, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get a few, but I would say a small few, if any. Overall, though, it is good news, but there are some disappointing setbacks in there as well. I don't think we'll be hitting the 1 million cars in 2021, which is fine. That was a very optimistic goal. They'll probably still hit 800,000 deliveries, and honestly, that's amazing. That would be more than 50% growth year over year. Things are still only going up from here. Consumer Reports. What a joke of an organization. First, they show everyone exactly how to stupidly misuse Tesla Autopilot, which doesn't take a genius to figure out, but that's not an excuse for broadcasting it to the world. And then they make people believe like this is the most dangerous thing that can be done in a car, and Tesla needs to put a stop to this reckless activity that they just taught everyone how to do. Needless to say, I'm not very impressed. Speaking of people making stupid claims against Tesla, over in China, we get these reports that police are prohibiting Tesla vehicles from driving on the highway because they aren't safe, and that police are pulling over Tesla cars and sending them home or arresting them for owning cars or whatever else. I don't know what the implication was supposed to be. It doesn't make sense because it never happened. Some asshole just cut together a few out of context video clips of police directing traffic and trying to deal with an over-congested highway. They tried to tack on their own narrative about Teslas being dangerous murder cars. Which brings us back to the Tesla brake failure protesters from last week who were jumping up and down on top of cars and yelling in Shanghai. Turns out that police reports and data provided by Tesla prove that the Model 3 in question was driving well above the speed limit, was following too closely to the cars in front of it, and the driver didn't hit the brakes hard enough or quickly enough to prevent a crash. The Tesla emergency brakes did activate and actually slowed the car down enough to prevent a more serious collision. Even with proof that they weren't at fault, Tesla still offered to pay for the repairs to this person's car and everything, but the owner is refusing to have the car fixed. She's only interested in a full refund for the price of the car. So I'm not saying this is all about money, but it certainly looks like this is all about money. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of Tesla news update, then you would probably enjoy our weekly newsletter. We deliver all the updates on Tesla, SpaceX, Elon Musk, and of course Neuralink in a quick, fun, and easy to read package. Link to sign up is in the description below. It's theteslaspace.com. Once you sign up, be sure to check your promotions tab to make sure our emails are going to your main inbox. Recent documents submitted to Shanghai authorities have indicated that Tesla plans to add an EV parts recycling facility to Gigafactory Shanghai. The planned facility would allow Tesla to repair and reproduce crucial components such as electric motors and battery cells, allowing the company to operate in a much more efficient and environmentally friendly manner. This is big news because if we're really going to build a sustainable world, then we can't just keep tossing old cars into junkyards, especially because you can't just crush a Tesla into a cube. It would explode. So what do we do with all this old tech as it becomes less useful? We'll have to figure out how to recycle it. Tesla notes on their website that most of the materials used in its vehicles' batteries are recoverable and recyclable, and Elon has said before, quote, Tesla is putting significant resources into high-efficiency battery recycling, makes both environmental and economic sense. Please consider joining if interested in recycling engineering. Tesla's request for the Federal Communications Commission to approve a millimeter wave sensor for child protection and anti-theft measures has been granted. This is basically a radar system inside the cabin of the vehicle that would be monitoring the passengers both while the car is stationary and in motion. It's better than a camera because the wave sensor can see through soft objects. This is largely a safety measure that will cover a few bases. The wave sensor can detect if a child has been left alone in the car, and it would make sure the air conditioning is active to keep the temperature low. It could do the same thing for a dog as well. This could also help with theft prevention too. The radar would be very good at detecting broken windows and vehicle intrusions. Lastly, this kind of system would be excellent for monitoring passengers in an autonomous driving situation. With everything that's been made lately of Tesla's autopilot being easy to trick, this would be a much more foolproof solution to making sure that there is a person in the driver's seat monitoring the vehicle at all times. Again, quick reminder to sign up for our newsletter for more Tesla news and speculation. There's a link down below. If you want to continue to learn about everything regarding Tesla, SpaceX, and Elon Musk, we've got 2 more video options for you on the screen to check out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it, and subscribe to our channel for weekly content just like this.